what is a child responsibility in showing love to a parent? Does a child have some type of responsibility? How can we use this platform to tell children, when I say tell children, to whether, let's say this, let's talk about from 8 to the high school, how do we teach children to really show love amongst, you can say siblings, parents, aunts, uncles? What do we do a better job at from your
I
perspective?
would say it's different components, but I
Mhm.
would say things like to be grateful, to be understanding, because we just talked about earlier, if they don't know something, how can they teach us?
Mhm.
And I'm only going from my point of view because I wish growing up
Mhm.
that I was more grateful as a child to my parents, my
Like
uncles, my
actually
aunties.
showing them that you
Yeah,
appreciate
I
what they're
wish,
doing.
right. I wish it was more ways that I could have been more grateful.
Mm.
By another way, one of the ways we talked about earlier is for me, my education. I wish I would have gone to school and did what I was supposed to do because that's a way. Believe it or not, parents they're very grateful when their kids go to school and make good grades.
You doing right?
Yeah, because it's like
Brag about my baby.
yeah, because it's like oh, I can go tell this person, that person, my baby doing this, and it's also a reflection of them as a parent. But
Mm.
as kids, we don't see that. We don't understand that when you go down there, you make all D's and F's. That's a bad reflection on your parent because they can teach you everything, but you gotta want to do it. But I wish I was more grateful. I wish I had more of a one-on-one relationship with my parents as well. I
Mhm.
wish I was be able to tell, like you said, being able to express myself and tell them more things
Mm.
because they don't know what they don't know. If you're hurting inside, a parent doesn't know, because as a kid we thinking that they're supposed to be able to tell because they're our parents, but you got to think about it. Especially when a parent has more than one child, they got mortgage, they got bills, they got jobs. So it's so much components that go into a parent that as kids we don't realize, and we're thinking, oh, they don't love us, or that they don't care. But it's like that's not the case at all.
Sometimes about survival as a parent.
Right? It's about survival. I've seen that. I was raised by a single mother. I've seen what that survival looks like. I've seen in some days where I didn't see my mother as much, it's more days I saw her more
Mhm.
because I've understood that it's not that she doesn't love me, but it's that she loves me enough to go out here and make ends meet the way she know how. But at the time, I couldn't see that because I'm a child, so I'm not understanding what it takes for her to get up every morning and do that. And then on top of that, I was an athlete. Me and my brother was an
So
athlete.
let me ask you, I'm a parent. Let's say as you're explaining that, I can't I hear what you're saying, but how
Right.
do you give somebody a visual of that as a parent? How do you help me as a parent understand you as a child to help you see that? How do you think I can do that? Because one day, like you said, one day you're gonna be a father. So
Right.
how do you teach your child? How do you teach children to see that within the parent about that life? Because some children just naturally see it. Some have to be taught it.
Right. Well, I think, like I said, I think communication with that parent, that one-on-one relationship with that parent, it has to be just as strong as the teaching and just as strong as the discipline.
Mm.
Because I think a lot of times parents they discipline their kids, they tell them what they do wrong, but they never take the time to really find out what's going on in that child's brain. So I think once you get past the thought of what they should do instead of what's really going on with them, I think once y'all get that understanding of, because parents say, and like I'm talking about, black people once again, they always say, "Oh, I'm not your little friend."
Mhm.
I think that parents should have some type of friendship with their kids. And the reason why I say that is kids feel comfortable when they can tell you why you think their friends know more about you than you do, and that's your child.
No, I, th-
I'm
I I think it's because you know your friends don't hold you accountable.
That's another reason.
I think your friends don't hold you accountable and your parents hold you accountable and you don't want that accountability.
That's another thing as a kid though. And for the kids who may hear this, I want kids to understand that accountability is very important for a child and as an adult. But
Mm.
it starts when you're an adult. I don't think you can teach accountability once you become an adult. It starts when you become a child. Now you can want to learn it. You can learn it. But I don't know if you can teach it. Because accountability to a child and accountability to an adult, it's two different it's two different things.
Well, I think you can teach it to a child. You know, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you an incident that happened to me and my daughter. You know, my daughter had this little backpack, a little small purse that she bought, and she wanted to take it to school. I disagree with it. You don't need to take that trash to school because all the kids gonna want to talk about it and stuff like this. Okay, this is what I and tell her instead of saying you're not taking it. This is what I proposed to her. I said, Jasmine, I disagree with you taking that bag to school. Let me tell you why. Because if you take it to school, kids gonna flock to it. They're gonna hold it. They're gonna grab it because it's something new that you have, and it looks good. It's pretty. I said, what happens when the one person wants to take it from you, wants to bully you about it? I said, you're gonna get go back and forth with them, and you don't even need to take it to school. You want to take it to school to show off to all of the kids. Now, once you take it to that school and one of them kids mess with you about it and y'all start going back and forth, don't call me about the bag. Don't call me about it. I don't want to hear it. You're gonna be bothered by it. I said you better not get in a fight with them about it because daddy told you that's not the place to showboat and take your stuff there. Did I not tell you? Yes.
Right.
So you have to make a decision. So what you gonna do? So if she decided to take that bag, that's on her. If she didn't, but she decided to take that bag and leave it in my office and didn't take it that day. You know, so it was trying to tell her. I took the time to teach her what her, I guess, the accountability of it is the potential issue that can come from it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And let her make that decision of it. You know, but it was just something that it was going to be a hard swallow if she decided to take that bag and somebody started bullying her, somebody. But then again, once somebody started bullying, I just go, I get the bag and I keep the bag here. And I said, hey, I told you this was going to happen. You called me to the school. Now I'm here to the school. Now the bag doesn't go to school. Now, if you want to wear the bag with me to Walmart, anywhere you want to go with me to parent,
Right.
you can do that. But you don't need to take it to school. But maybe that's teaching accountability, would you say?
Yes, I think so.
It's like trying to get ahead of the issues before they happen. And maybe
Right.
it's and that's why I say I think you can teach it, but you got so that's why I say love is patient.
Right.
Love is kind. You know, you have to be patient when it comes to children, but can you really be patient with adults?
That becomes a hard thing. And the reason why I say that is because when you tell a child, like you as a parent, your child asks you, "Oh, daddy, can you take me to go get ice cream?" Once you tell that child you gonna take them to get ice cream, they believe it.
Hmm.
Whatever you take them to go get the ice cream, they know where you're going to take them to get the ice cream. Adults don't have the same faith and the same trust as kids.
Mm,
Kids have trust and faith. Adults, they come up with 55 different scenarios in their head before the actual thing come on.
mm,
Oh, I saw them do such and such to that person. Oh, they might do that to me. Oh, I don't know about all of that. They funny acting. But the engagement I had with you, it's not gonna be the same engagement I have with somebody else. So it's different when it's an adult and it's a child. Because adults don't trust as easily and they don't believe as easily as children.
mm. Well, it goes back to like we said, just Just the idea of love anyway. And I think that that's the bulk of it. Is the idea of love is patient. Gotta be patient.
Right,
Even with adults, you have to be patient. Love is love. Love shouldn't have no circumstances over, like if when we talk about relationships, the relationships I have with my daughter, my nieces, my nephews, my wives, my brothers, it's all kind. It's supposed to be patient. It's supposed to be empathetic. How do I display that? Why so much aggression to the person that you love?
right,
Why not just being kind, being patient. And I think that if you're patient with an 8-year old, you should be patient with a 28-year-old or a
right,
48-year-old because everybody has a story. And once you
right,
put that person in your life, you're trying to learn to love them.
right. And you also become a part of that story.
Yeah. You come because a part of their story. Part of their story. Oh, this will probably be the last topic.
Okay.
And I thought this was interesting. And I want people really to think about this one. You know, can you, we talked about love, but can you really love your kids and, and be disrespectful to their parents?
I don't think so.
Can you really love your kids and be disrespectful to their parents? Mm, think about that one. Can we talk about it? Why
Yeah,
are
we can talk about it.
why are people disrespectful to their child's parent and they say they love their children? I'll put it on. I'm married.
Right.
I love my kids, but I'm gonna go cheat on the mother of my daughter with somebody else, knowing that my daughter wouldn't appreciate that. Do I really love my daughter?
That's deeper than that's deep. That's deep right there. That's deep for real. Because when people are doing it, the first thing somebody's going to say when they hear this is, "Me cheating on her mother don't got nothing to do with her." Yes, it does. Because that also doesn't have something to do with your daughter. You're
It
teaching your
affects
daughter, right? You're
how
also
my
teaching your
daughter
daughter that that's
feels.
okay, and you're
Because
teaching your son as well.
yeah, yeah.
You're teaching your kids that that's okay to do. Then when they do it, you want to discipline them, but you're not even practicing what you're preaching yourselves.
Mm.
So yes, 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 I agree 100%.
I'm a just chalk it up as ignorance. That once again we wasn't taught what love
Right,
was. We wasn't taught how love is supposed to be. And that was the purpose of us having this conversation is to get an understanding of what love is and how to display it. Because to love our children is to love our children's parents. You don't
right.
want to hurt your child. And there's so much talk right now of saying that, you need a two-parent household and everything like that. It's still it's like I don't know. It's just hard. It's just a hard sell for me to, I can understand somebody might say, but what if they're beating the mother? What if me as a father is beating that mother? Then how is that showing love to that child? Because I told you, remember we called and we talked, what happens in high school, right? You in high school, and that one dude said, what he say? Man, start talking shit about your mama. What,
Oh,
what
ain't
do you
nothing to
really
talk
do?
about.
Huh?
Ain't nothing to talk about. We fighting. Ain't nothing to talk about.
We fighting. But let's say
Right.
let's say I'm the dad, right? It's not even a thing about talking about your mama. I'm lying to your mama and being deceitful behind your back. And on top of that, providing money from your pockets, your household, giving it to another woman. I'm not,
Not only are you not dis,
go ahead.
not only are you disrespecting Now, now you taking food out of the mouth of the same person who birthed your kids.
So, so is that what would you call that? If it's not love, what would you call it? Because
Toxic.
because taking care of kids are responsibility. That's our responsibility to do that.
Right,
But we're talking about love. I want to make sure everybody understand we're talking about love. How do you
right.
display love? What does love look like? Is that love for your child? Is that true love for your child?
I think it's toxicity.
You think that's what it is?
Yes.
Mm. It's mm, just interesting. I just think it's an interesting topic that people really need to know and understand. Because to say that you love someone and to just to be so disrespectful it's one thing joking and messing with people, but it's one of those things, I'll be honest, that I had to learn. And I've been on this journey about learning about love, and I've been thankful to be married to Toya, and I've even learned how to love her for different last year than I did this year. And I think my love is going to
Right,
be from this year to next year, depending on how long we stay together. But I think it kind of like as I continue to grow, I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to learn more about it, and also talking to young people, getting young people perspective. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, oh, okay. I do want to wrap this up, but before we wrap it up, what do you think? Some good takeaways from it? What do we learn anything about love? What do you learn about it? What do you take from it? What do you take? What do you apply?
Well, what I would say I learned that I didn't know, because I'm not afraid to, say what I learned.
Mhm.
What I would say I learned that love is more it's more about being taught than actually the feeling of it. Because a lot of scenarios we talked about today, it also goes to the fact that people don't know how to love because they've never been taught how to love. So my perspective on love kind of changes a little bit because I would think that some people that I have dealings with don't know how or don't love me the way, but then when I think about it, they haven't been taught that way.
They haven't been taught how
So
you
I
want
think
to receive it.
right,
Hmm.
and they also haven't been taught, just properly. Like nobody ever sat them down and told them what love's supposed to be, what love's supposed to look like. So they just loved you the best way they could, or they love you the way that they only way they knew how. And I'm not saying you have to accept what people, how the way people's loving you, but if that's all they know how to do, then that's all they know how to do.
But see, I would even use it that it's not that they know how. I think they I think we're existing, and we're not trying to really build a foundation of what we want love to look like and have the understanding of love. You know, if
Right,
if I'm sitting up here talking to you is like this is what I hate to cut you off, but it's like I think it was good. It's teaching me that if if I want to understand love, I have to be the example of it.
right,
Not only do I have to be the example, I also have to be the educator. I have to be the teacher. I have to teach you what love is, sit down and talk to you what love is. Now, I also have to talk to you what love is not. We can have a feeling towards somebody, but that feeling, I think, has to be based on someone's actions. Because you can I love these headphones, but you can love these headphones still because of the actions on how good they play with the music over the other headphones. You like these, but I really love those. So this is a thing you can still love, but it's something that it's doing to make you feel that way. And
right,
if it's hurt, if it's toxic, like you say, I don't think that's love.
right.
I don't. What would you call it? I don't know what to call that. I don't think it's love. What would you call it?
Besides toxic, I don't know what to call it because it's definitely not love. I don't know if it would be a tolerance, but it's definitely not love.
Based on what we're saying and
But it's
how we
almost
characterize.
right.
And I guess that is a conversation to have. And that's a conversation to try to figure out. But just like anything else, I would ask anybody that has any thoughts or opinion, if you're watching this, you can put what your thoughts are in the comments and tell us what you think. If it's not love, what we describe, what would you call it? Just
Right.
existing, just living with somebody. Because I'm not telling nobody that they need to leave because they're not showing love. I think you have to be with somebody that's willing to develop and learn how to love.
Right.
I think you still can be taught and come into it. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Well, okay, I'm gonna end this. So once again, I want to tell everybody that's listening, thank you for tuning in to the Power Team Will podcast. And this was a great episode. We talking about love. What is the meaning of love? We have some great topics. We have some great insight. And my nephew, once again, his name is
Jaquan Frip.
Mr. Jaquan Frimp. Hey, brother, man, I appreciate you coming on and we having this discussion. And before we cut off, I want to tell you this. If anything you didn't take from this, the meaning of love, I'm going to tell you straight out, brother, man, I love you. And I love you a lot. Don't say nothing back. I want y'all to stay motivated. Get up out of here, man.